Hello, Fat Grandma here. It is July 17th. It's been 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks since I did a Solds video. Things have been a little crazy around here, not just with the roommate, but just in general. It's been extremely hot, just like it was last time I did a Solds video, but it's gotten worse temperature-wise, and it this is why it's dark in here. I've got one light over my camera so that you guys can actually see me, but I'm not turning anything on in here because all it does is add heat to the room. So you get this. It's going to be like this until it gets below 105. My room has been for the past, I don't know, 3 weeks now at least, over 90 degrees for about 6 hours in the afternoon, so 5 or 6 hours. So it's pretty unbearable. I know there's a lot of people that work outside, and once upon a time, the heat did not bother me, but I got older. I had a surgery done, and everything changed. My body completely changed. I can't handle the heat anymore. So if you have not been here before, my name is Paula. I have a small store on eBay. It's not as small as it used to be, but it's still small compared to other people who do YouTube videos and stuff. But I've sold on a couple of other platforms. I'm not doing that right now. Right now, I am concentrating on getting rid of a lot of things that my mother had stashed, collections that she had, Chevron cars, M&M dispensers, a lot of sports memorabilia like Phoenix Suns and the Diamondbacks, that kind of stuff. She had a ton of Coca-Cola stuff. Of course, that's not worth anything. So, I've got a few things in my store from that collection that she had, but, she's letting me sell this stuff now because I will not be here. I'll be in Kentucky, and she's 83. So, if you've been around, you know what's going on. Anyway, I have had 62 sales since the last time I did a video. So this video is either going to be extremely long or I'm not going to tell you about everything I sold. So I'm not sure which way it's going to go. I am going to put timestamps down below so that you guys will know when I actually break into the solds part of the video. I'm going to talk about a couple personal things that are going on right now, and so look for the timestamp if you don't want to hear any of this whatever BS. I don't usually watch my mouth, so I don't know why I just did, but anyway, so there will be a timestamp down below when my solds are going to start, so you guys can just skip to that. If you watch this video right after it's been uploaded, the timestamps may not work. It takes a while for it to generate the high definition version of the video. And so, if you wait to watch this until the high def version has been processed, I think that's when the timestamps kick in or when they start to work. Otherwise, you may have to just skip ahead and see if I'm talking about stuff. I put pictures of the items up here on the screen too. So I may skip some things. I don't want to because, that's why I do these, so you guys can see what I sold, what's not worth selling, what might be worth selling if you happen to see one, that kind of thing. So anyway, if you've been around, you know that I am living in my mother's house, and up until recently, I was paying rent. Now, I did pay a huge sum in June on the SRP so that I wouldn't have to pay for the rest of the months that I'll be here. I want to just hoard money for the move because I pulled the numbers again for that, and it's going to be around $3,400 just for the truck rental, to hire a couple of movers for 2 hours to get everything loaded in the truck, and to tow my car, for the tow dolly and all of that stuff. So right around $3,400. That doesn't include gas or anything on the way to Kentucky. So You know, and I am putting some money aside from my Social Security every month. You know, anything excess that I have is going into the moving fund, and there's not a lot left over, but there is enough that I can hopefully by November have close to 3 grand just from the Social Security. So whatever I make from eBay will help pay for the gas, and if I have to stay at a hotel overnight, you know, incidentals, things that I, you know, just pop up, or, you know, things happen. So there's always an extra expense that you didn't expect when you move. So I wanted to have a nice cushion. I got a bit of a blow in that up until this point, because I don't make a lot with my Social Security, I'm considered very, very low income, and I have medical coverage through the state, and I was getting food assistance. You know, food stamps used to be food stamps, now it's a card. But I lost my food assistance because I'm no longer paying rent in the form of the electric bill, because I paid a whole bunch in June. They don't take that into I had to requalify. I guess I should have started with that. I had to requalify because you have to once a year. And because I paid that lump sum in June, it doesn't count. They're considering that I'm not paying any rent for the next the next year, you know. So the state of Arizona, because I'm not paying any rent, has decided that I don't need the food assistance anymore. So that is a huge blow because, okay, she's yelling about something. I have to pause this. Great. All right, I'm back. Okay, so long story short, I've lost my food benefits, and because they know that I have income from eBay, even though my taxes show that there's nothing left after all of my expenses, cost of goods, all that kind of stuff, you know, things that I can write off. Anyway, they don't care. They just see that there's income from that. They see that I'm not paying rent here because I already paid it. And so there won't be anything being paid out toward the utilities or any kind of rent, you know, for the next 4 or 5 months while I'm still here. So everything that I have saved now, a good chunk of it anyway, is going to have to be used for groceries. So I have to start over, kind of, you know. It's frustrating. Anyway, that's probably more than you needed to know, more than I had to share, but I just kind of want you guys to know where I'm at. You know, some of you have been keeping up. You know that I've been trying to save for the move, and I was starting to get I shouldn't have gotten excited. I should never get excited about anything, I guess, because every time I do, something happens to kind of knock me back, you know, like, don't get excited, Paula, something's going to happen. I had almost, well, a little over $1,000 in the account for the move. I'm sitting on that money, and it's not getting used for anything because I know I'm going to need it for, you know, gas and the part of the U-Haul stuff and whatever else. You know, if she doesn't shut up, I can't. She's yelling at the television, just so you guys know. She has her propaganda channel on pretty much 24/7, and she yells at the television. If you don't know, she's a supporter of the, I don't like to say his name, the very loud one who had an assassination attempt. So she's been on a rampage ever since that. And I'm part of I may as well have been the one that tried to do it because she's treating me like I did, you know, on top of what we already deal with here with her. So that's going on. She's yelling at the television constantly. I cannot wait to move. I really have got to get out of here in October, or well, November. I have to have all of the money saved up by the end of October because, you know, then I have to start paying for things to get out of here. Anyway, if you're new here, you're probably like, well, I'm not going to stay at this channel. That's fine. I'm finding my tribe little by little. A lot of the people who are here, who have subscribed, we've had conversations through my Facebook Messenger, and there are a lot of women I have discovered who grew up with a mother like mine, very narcissistic and controlling, just everything that you guys know. So that's what's going on in my personal life. Some of it. I had my laptop. I was going to try to do this. I was going to try to record this video in my car, but I had to wait to get my laptop back. I had sent it in. The keyboard wasn't working for some stupid reason, and it wasn't staying charged. So I sent it in, and they had it for like over a month. I got it back, but in the process of them fixing it, they sent me an email and they wanted my Microsoft 365 password, and I was like, no, I'm not giving that. My entire life is behind that. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody has that password, I'm so screwed. So I said, no, just reset the whole computer to do whatever you need to do. So now I have to reinstall all the things, and it's just, you know what it's like when you get a new computer. If you can't transfer your data from your old one, you have to start from scratch. You've got to try and remember or find all of your passwords for everything under the sun. It's just an ordeal. So I've been dealing with that. And I can't do anything for about 6 hours out of the day because it's too hot in here. So, if I have packages to ship, I have to wait until about 8 o'clock at night for it to cool down enough in here so that I can move around and do stuff without wanting to die or feeling like I'm going to die. So it's been rough. Things are not going like I want them to, or like I would like for them to, or that would make it easier on me, but that's just kind of the way it goes sometimes. So, and for me, I don't know what it is, the universe, every time I have any money saved or anything that you might consider extra, something comes up where that extra is no longer there. It's either my car or, like now with the food assistance, it is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. I just have to hope that I can get the rest of the M&M things sold, the rest of the Chevron cars sold, and that I can find some decent things at yard sales or the auction to bring in some good chunks of money between now and the end of October. I've really got to bust my ass now, and it's not easy to do when it's so freaking hot outside. It's just awful, and it's hot in here then, because of the temperature outside. This room, again, if you have not been around, there's no insulation in this room. There's none in the roof. My air conditioner is an awesome AC unit, but it can only do so much. And when there's heat radiating through the walls and the ceiling, it really can't cool the room. It does what it can do, and once the sun starts to go away, and I'm pointing west because that's where it goes away. Once it starts to, or gets on the other side of the house and it's not baking this room anymore around 6 or 7 o'clock at night, then my air conditioner can start working. And so by around 8, then I can start boxing things up, and I have to stop doing that at 10:30 at night because she goes to bed and she can hear my tape gun. If I'm packaging things, somehow she hears my tape gun making noises, and then she can't sleep. So I can't package up anything after like 10:30 at night. So that gives me about 2 hours in the evening to try and get all my stuff done. With regard to shipping anyway. I can list whenever, so I can stay up at night, which I've been doing, for listing and doing stuff like that. But anyway, I'm running a big sale right now. It's a Christmas and July sale that I'm going to have going through the end of the month. And so I guess that's it as far as the personal update. Oh, I have a bunch of footage, ride with me footage. I think it's like 4 days worth of footage. If you guys want me to upload that, please let me know down below. Just leave me a comment, say you'd like to see the other footage or whatever. I never know how much you guys want to see that, or if you want to see it, or if you really care, because I don't really talk that much about my resale stuff in those videos most of the time. Sometimes I will, get into stuff that's going on with eBay or whatever, but for the most part, it's personal stuff, and I don't know how interesting that is for you guys. So, if you want me to upload that footage, let me know down below, and then I'll go ahead and edit that and get it uploaded in the next couple of days. Like I said, there's about 4 days worth, so it's probably going to be at least an hour. And I don't know, maybe you guys listen to it while you're doing stuff like a podcast, or I don't know. I don't know. I know nothing, Jon Snow. Okay, gonna get into the solds now. I'm gonna try to blast through these if I can, because there's so many of them. Again, 62 things have sold in the last 3 weeks, which is awesome. But now it looks like most of it's gonna go to pay for groceries over the next 4 months. Let's see, we've got August, September, October. Yeah, 3 months for the next 3 months. A good chunk of it anyway. I mean, okay, if I was 30 years younger, I could totally live on ramen for the next 3 months. I wouldn't even care. I'd just put peas and other stuff in it. I would be fine with that. It doesn't bother me to eat the same thing, or hot dogs and sauerkraut and some mashed potatoes, or what's other ghetto food I've eaten before. The food that you eat when you're in college, or when you're a single mother raising your kids, or, you know, budget food. I could totally do that, except for I have high blood pressure, so I have to watch the sodium. And the other thing that happens, and this is going to be TMI for you guys, if I don't eat enough roughage, I have big problems, and it makes my back pain much, much worse. So I have to eat either a lot of fruit and vegetables or nuts, things like that that will keep things moving. Otherwise, I pay for it, and in a big way with my back, with back pain, because it just makes it 10 times worse. So that also, is going on. I'm supposed to be getting a shot in my back on the last, I think, the 31st of July. So that's happening. At least I didn't lose my medical coverage, knock on wood. I still have my medical, so that's a plus. I still qualified for that, so at least I didn't lose that. I will lose it when I move to Kentucky, and from what I can tell, it's going to take 6 months, because I have to be a resident of Kentucky, and in order to be a resident, you have to be there for 6 months. So it's 180 some days. It works out to 6 months. Anyway, so I'm going to be without coverage for a while, unless what I've read is wrong. I don't know. And I may find out more before I move. But, okay, on to the solds. I'm going to try to blow through these again. And let's see, I've talked for 20 minutes already, so this video is going to be very long. Okay, the first 3 things that I sold, I had more than one of in my store. And for whatever reason, when I downloaded all of my solds, from the 25th through July 16th, the things that I had more than one of, it lumped them together and gave me a price for both that sold, and the shipping was all totaled together. I don't know why it did that. It doesn't count it as an individual sale. It lumps the like items together. So I will try to explain those. It's going to be the first 3 things. The first one, I sold 2 Hot Wheels Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles. They were brand new, still in the packaging, just new old stock. Anyway, 2 of them. Each one sold for $11.98, and the shipping paid average for each one was $6.62. And the next item I sold 2 of was a set of Chevron cars. They were 2 ice cream trucks, Summer Scoop and Chandler Chips. And again, I sold 2 sets of 2. Each of those sets sold for $19.79, and shipping for each set was $7.94. That's what the buyer paid. And it's averaged because, again, they were lumped together, so I just divided everything by 2. The last thing that was a duplicate sale was a Chevron Cars Carry Carrier from 1998. They were both new in box. Each one sold for $23.99, and the shipping averaged out for each one was $14.46. The rest of the items are solo sales. So let's get on to those. These I had this in my shop for well over a year, close to 2 years. It was a lot of antique celluloid vanity and manicure tools. There were a total of 11 pieces. One of the lids was broken. It just sat in my store forever. Anyway, they finally sold for that lot sold for $11.04, and shipping was $10.17. If the shipping seems insane on some of these items, it's because the person was really far away, more than likely, because I'm in Arizona, so I might as well be in California. It's going across country, and those people pay through the nose when they buy from me. Let's see. Next item I sold. Keep your eyes open for this. If you happen to see one of these, I've had it in my store for a very long time, but it's because I wasn't willing to lower the price too much, because I knew what it was worth, because they're kind of rare. It is a Wedgwood Boston jug with Dr. Samuel Johnson's poem for Shreve, Crump and Lowe. Shreve, Crump and Lowe. It's a law firm in Boston. Anyway, it sold finally for $95.99. This little jug sold for almost $100. Now, it has sold for more than that in the past, but this one had a chip, a very tiny chip on the spout. So, and I made note of that there was a chip. So anyway, the shipping, so they paid $95.99 for that jug, and then $12.35 in shipping. So that was a very good sell. Oh, also, anything M&M's or anything Chevron Cars or anything Phoenix Suns or Diamondbacks is from my mother's hoard of stuff. I don't think I sold any Coca-Cola things. I might have. If there's a Coca-Cola item in here that's sold, that's also from her crap. So just so you guys know. The only reason she's allowing me to sell this stuff is because she doesn't want my brother to have to deal with it when she dies. And she also wants me out of here. So, and she's made it very clear. We got into it again. I talked about it, I think, on one of the ride with me's. I'm not sure if I upload that footage. Anyway, next item sold was a heavy brass miniature unicorn. It was only 2 3/4 inches tall, very tiny, super heavy though. Sold for $7.19, and shipping was $7.79. The next item I sold was a vintage hand-carved ironwood quail folk art big bird figurine. Big bird. That'd be something. Anyway, bird figurine. It was close to 7 inches tall. Sold for $11.49, and shipping was $6.73. Sometimes the size of the package, the measurements will drive the price up a little bit too, since they've changed everything with Ground Advantage. Let's see. The next item I sold, and this was purchased with some other stuff, three black cat figurines. They were Zen yoga meditation poses, really cute. I picked them up. These were retail arbitrage. Got them from the 99-cent only store, which is now no more. Anyway, they paid $8.99 for the 3 figures and $7.09 in shipping. And that same person bought some, here it is. Okay, so hopefully I don't lose my place. It was a lot of vintage hand-painted wooden decorative Nordic folk art. It was a plate and 2 spoons. They were large spoons, hand-painted and stuff. Really kind of cool. Anyway, she paid $16.39 for those and $7.17 shipping. So the total for her shipping was $14 something, but she got all of the wooden stuff and the three resin cats, the yoga cats. So anyway, so that's all of that. Let's see, where was I? Oh, here we go. Next item was an Asian wooden fisherman. He was 10 inches tall, incense holder, burner, figurine, hand carved. And then I put reed because on his back it was very worn. You could tell he'd been picked up in this one spot by whoever owned him before quite a bit. But somebody, and they left me feedback, good feedback, so I'm happy. $8.99 is what they paid for it, and $7.23 in shipping. The next item I sold was 4 hand-blown martini glasses. They were amber spotted and a pale aqua stems. They were super, super heavy. I got these at a yard sale. I think I paid $1 a piece for them. Anyway, they sold for $23.80 and shipping was $14.08. They took quite a while to sell. I think 4 months or so, maybe 5. It's been a while since I listed them, but they finally sold. And I made a decent profit. Next item I sold was an iridescent soft serve sprinkles ice cream cone ceramic coin bank. It was 8 inches tall, really cute. I picked it up at Dee Dee's. I can't remember the whole name of the store, but anyway, I paid $3 for it, and it sold for $11 and $9.70 in shipping. So, I made an okay profit on that. Next item I sold was a set of 2 white porcelain egg cups and a white bunny rabbit figurine. I just lumped them together because I had the rabbit figurine from some other thing, and it kind of went with these porcelain egg cups, so I just stuck them all together. And let's see, the person paid $8.99 for those 3 items and $9.29 in shipping. I have no idea where they were, but must be clear over on the East Coast because that's quite a bit of shipping. Let's see. The next one was the wooden stuff that I already told you guys about. Okay, the next one was a cat coin piggy bank, and I put whimsical and the size measurements. It was like 6 1/4 by 9.5 inches. It was Gans, and the name of the item was Hartley by Patty. I just thought this thing was really cute. I picked it up at a thrift store. I think I paid $3 for it. Anyway, it sold for $11.04 and $11.34 in shipping. It was kind of big. It was just a weird shape, Anyway, so not too bad. Anyway, next item I sold was Lennox Morning Blossom Creamer and Lidded Sugar Bowl. And those sold for $25.20 and shipping paid was $6.95. Now that whole lot is gone. I had all the dishes that went with that set. Like 4-piece, I had 4 5-piece place settings. Anyway, they all sold at the same time. So those were paid for. So $25.20 and $6.95 in shipping. It's not horrible. Next item I sold was a vintage 90s City Sneaks white chunky platform slip-on sneakers, women's size 7. These also were from shoes. Any shoes will be from my mom's crap. Anyway, those tennis shoes, brand new, sold for $12 and $7.33 in shipping. Let's see, the next 2 items I sold went to the same person. I paid $3 a piece for them at a thrift store. One was Rise and Shine vintage rooster figurine, and the other one was Fresh Eggs, a vintage chicken figurine. They were, the rooster was 12 inches tall and the hen was 10 inches tall. So they were pretty good sized, very heavy. They looked like carved wood, but I think they were some kind of a plastic or a resin, but they weren't as heavy as resin typically is. So I don't know if it was hollow resin, no clue what they were made of, but again, they looked like carved wood. The rooster sold for $11 and the hen sold for $10.99. Again, same person, and they paid a total of $19 in shipping. I know I refunded some of that though, and I can't remember how much, but I did refund some of the shipping because they paid more than it actually cost me. So $22 out of 6 that I paid for those items, so not horrible. Let's see, the next item I sold was a vintage RCCL J. Wilfred Andrea by Sadek hand-painted fan finger vase, and it was from Portugal, and that I paid $5 for at a yard sale. Sold for $26.99, and shipping paid was $9.52. That was a nice sale. Next item was a Chevron car, Maddie Mudster 2001 vintage collectible toy car, sold for $10.04, and shipping was $6.18. The next item I sold was another Chevron car, Taylor Taxi from 2001. It was a cute, it had little pigeons in the back. little toy pigeons that came with it. Anyway, it sold for $11.89 and shipping was $7.26. The next item I sold was a Gorham cut to clear crystal Lady Anne cased amethyst purple rose bowl. And I paid, I think, $1 or $2 at an estate sale for this. Sold for $12.23 and shipping paid was $10.06. All right, we've got some M&M things coming up. You know those are from the stash. M&M's Fun Machine Slide and Seesaw Candy Dispenser sold for $9.89. Shipping paid was $8.43. The next item was the M&M's Blue M&M with saxophone. It was called Blues Cafe, I think. Anyway, that one it was huge. Sold for $17.84. Shipping was $19.10 because of the size of the box, and it was kind of heavy. Next item I sold was another M&M's Golf Mulliganville first in series limited edition candy dispenser. Sold for $16.14. Shipping was $14.65. And the next M&M's item was a rare orange nutcracker holiday candy dispenser. The orange ones are uncommon. I've found the other colors, but the orange is not as common. Sold for $19.13. Shipping paid was $7.33. The next one, I think this was the same person, also ordered the yellow nutcracker M&M's dispenser, and that one sold for $15 and shipping was $7.33. If there was a difference in the shipping, I would have refunded part of it. Let's see, the next item. Oh, Star Trek. Okay, ornaments also came from my mother's stuff. I forgot about these. Was the next. Trying to hurry and it's not working. Hallmark keepsake ornament Star Trek USS Kelvin. 21 sold for $21.24 and shipping was $6.32. And the next one, I think went to the same person, was another keepsake ornament Star Trek Into Darkness USS Vengeance from 2014. That one sold for $22.95 and shipping was $6.32. So $12.64 in shipping for both items. And again, I would have refunded a little bit of that if they overpaid. Let's see. The next item I sold was kind of a plaque. It could stand or be put on a wall, I think. Oh no, it's a shelf sitter, so it wasn't a wall mount possible. Anyway, it was a view of the island Mackinac, Michigan, wood shelf sitter Sheila's Collectibles from 2003. I bought this when I took a trip to Mackinac Island back in 2004, I want to say. Anyway, sold for $20.69 and shipping was $7.09. The next item I sold, it's two items, went to the same person. 2021 Hallmark Minions Despicable Me Elf Musical Ornament, and he sold for $13.89 and $5.70 in shipping was paid. And then Merry Minions Despicable Me from 2019, it was Bob, Kevin, and Stuart, and that one sold for $11.53 and $4.97 in shipping. Again, I would have refunded a little bit of that. The next one was an M&M's collectible tin gingerbread house, 10.5 inches tall. It used to play music when you opened the doors, and I put that in the notes, or in the name of the item. If somebody wanted to try and mess with it and put batteries in it, but it looked like it would be a nightmare to fix. Anyway, it sold for $8.09 and shipping paid was $7.14. It was cute, but it just didn't work anymore. I think it lit up too when you opened the doors, like it played a little music and then there was a light inside, but neither of those things is working. Obviously the batteries died because it was old. It's 2015. The next several are Chevron cars. I'm so glad these are selling. And I'm under the price that most people would sell theirs for, but it's because I need to get rid of this stuff before October rolls around. I don't want to have to sell these at the swap meet when I go. Okay, off we go with all the Chevron cars. This first one was a lot of two. It was Maria minivan and Hap E camper. So it was a minivan and a camper. All these are brand new. None of them were ever taken out of the packaging. Anyway, those sold for $20.94 and shipping was $7.33. The next one was a Chevron Cars Peyton Pizza delivery van from 2005, sold for $11.89 and shipping paid was $8.43. The next one was Chevron Cars Sally School Bus with removable roof. That's from 2001. That one sold for $22.67 and shipping paid was $7.54. The next one was a Chevron Cars Pete pickup and Horace and trailer. So the trailer had a little horse that came with it, and I put it with the pickup. They didn't come together, but they went together. I don't know how else to describe it. Anyway, those sold for $30.79 and shipping paid was $9.70. That was a really good sale. The next one was a set of two. It was Frankie and Freddie four-wheelers, new in boxes. One was from 1996, the other one was from 2000. Those two sold for $17.25 and shipping paid was $8.43. I love these Chevron cars. They're really cool. I would have loved to play with these when I was a kid. You'll have to excuse all the vaping. I'm a little stressed out today. Okay. Chevron Cars set of two, Tony and Tina Turbo. So it was Tony Turbo and Tina Turbo from 1996 and 1998. Those sold for $13.59 and shipping was $10.02. Still have more Chevron cars. Chevron Cars 2, set of two, Hank Hot Rod and Della Deluxe. Both were from 2001. They paid $15.29 for those and $7.33 in shipping. The next one was a Chevron Cars Travis Tanker from 2005, and these are extra big, long. They're, annoying size to try and ship for sure. Sold for $21.43 and shipping paid was $11.70. The next one was a lot of three cars, and I lotted them together because by themselves they weren't really worth very much, like $3 or $4, maybe $4. Anyway, a lot of three Chevron cars: Danny Driver from 98, Holly Hatchback from 97, and Tina Turbo from 98. And they paid $13.59 for those and $11.34 in shipping. And I believe the person that bought those would also purchased one of the car carriers. So, that was fun to try and package all of those up. But, good amount of money too for all of them. Next one was a 2-pack of Chevron cars, and they were little baby ones. They were 2 packs, and they're about half the size, maybe a little bit smaller than the regular Chevron cars. Really cute. Anyway, 1 pack of 2 sold, and I think it was the pink and blue ones, sold for $9.65 and $6.16 in shipping is what the buyer paid. Okay, stuff that was mine. It was a United States Marine Corps Suncatcher, new with tags, 6 3/8 inches round, sold for $11.99 and shipping paid was $8.94. The next item I sold was a United States Navy gold tone chrome auto emblem, made in the USA. It was brand new, still sealed in the packaging. Sold for $7.19 and $5.38 in shipping. A bunch of these little things that are car related came in a lot from one of the auctions, so that's why I have them. Because normally I'm trying to stay away from listing things that are under like $8 to $10, but again, these were in a lot, so they're getting listed. Okay, another Chevron car. Let's see. And I don't remember which one they bought, but I had choose from 4 styles. I'll put a picture up here of the one that they purchased. Anyway, they paid $8.99 for it and $8.43 in shipping. The next item I sold was another Star Trek ornament from 2010. It was the USS Enterprise keepsake ornament. It needed batteries. Sold for $18.69 and $6.32 in shipping. Again, the Star Trek ornaments, if they have a light feature, they seem, and you have the box for them, they seem to do pretty well. Right around the $20 mark, sometimes, more than that. So they're not bad to pick up if you can get them for cheap. And if they work. The next was a lot of 3 Hallmark keepsake Winnie the Pooh and Disney Winnie the Pooh Disney Tigger ornaments. They were all Tigger, but 3 different ornaments. I think it was 3, yeah. Anyway, they sold for $13.59 and shipping was $6.07 from the pile. The next one was a lot of 16 Hallmark Keepsake Sisters ornaments, and they were all from different years. Anyway, there were 16 of them, again, from the stuff. Those sold for $20. I got an offer, and $10.77 in shipping. I know it's a lot of ornaments for $20. I don't care. They're gone, and they were taking up room, and I just need to get rid of this stuff, So it's basically Paula's yard sale on eBay, kind of. It was a little more than I would make at a yard sale, but still, Let's see. The next item I sold, and this was also from her stuff, was an Intermatic lamp timer easy set dial 2 settings, sold for $5.40 and $8.56 in shipping. I have no idea where that was going for it to be so much. Okay, the next was a lot of 9 Frozen plush. There were Elsa, Anna, Kristoff, Olaf, a small Sven, 2 of the trolls, and then there were 2 buckets of snowball fights. I'll put a picture up here of the box with all the stuff in it. Anyway, those sold for $28 and shipping was $28.51. So the shipping was almost as much, well, it was more. Shipping was more than what they paid for the plush, but they got a lot of plush for a decent amount, and they all still had their tags on them. So that was from the Horde also. You can tell my stress level by how much I vape. It's bad today. Today was the day I found out about the whole EBT thing with the finances and stuff. So I'm kind of reeling from that, but I needed to get this video recorded for you guys because it's been 3 weeks, so it's been too long. Anyway, next item. We're sort of getting there, I think. I have 62. Yeah, we're getting close. I think there's like 7 items left. I'm not sure. Anyway, vintage Tupperware hourglass salt and pepper shakers, and they still had the S&P on them. A lot of them, they're worn off. Anyway, I sold them for $17.99 and shipping was $6.45. Those do well if they still have the S&P on them and they're in good shape. I noticed a lot of them, the lid is missing, or the little prungy things on the back that hold the lid in place were broken off, or they were extra dingy, and these were in pretty good shape. My mother, again, had them in her cabinet, and she had 2 sets, so she's keeping one, and I sold the other one. Right now, I'm glad she was kind of a hoarder because it's helping me make money. Next item I sold this once already, and the guy was a giant jerk, and I think I mentioned him in Ride With Me footage that I uploaded already. Anyway, he got blocked. I canceled the sale. He was nasty to me. Anyway, I resold it, and it sold for $7, and the person paid $5.68 in shipping. The next thing I sold, and I picked this up at a Goodwill of all places, and I paid, I think, $3 for it, was a Funko Pop Peeps Lavender Bunny, number 9, exclusive limited edition, sold for $15.29 and $6.15 in shipping. So not too bad for 3 into 15, especially for a Funko Pop. Every once in a while you find one that does good, Let's see. The next item from the closet was a 1996 Olympic Torch Relay t-shirt, size large, 100% cotton, and it had United Way on the sleeve. Anyway, that t-shirt sold for $12.74 and shipping was $6.45. The next item I sold was a Phoenix Suns NBA Finals 1993 Western Conference Champs purple trench brand t-shirt, and it was a large, sold for $16 and $5.87 in shipping. The next item I sold, this was from the room, was a Coca-Cola biplane die-cast from 1997. It was a coin bank, brand new. They paid $14.99 for it and $7.40 for it in shipping. It was heavy. I think this person lived in California, and that's why the shipping wasn't too bad, because it was kind of a big box too. Okay, the next one, and I talked about this in the Ride With Me footage, so if you guys end up seeing that, you'll hear the story. Was a lot of 21 Diamondbacks and Sons t-shirts. This kid contacted me because I had a bunch listed, and then I had more that I hadn't listed, and I sent him a bunch of pictures. Anyway, $200, and I met him in the middle of Phoenix to give him the t-shirts, and then he bought 2 more from me and paid cash for those. So 220 from him, actually. No shipping. And so 21 t-shirts, 23 t-shirts are gone, and I'm so glad. It's less shirts for me to worry about. I could have gotten more for them, but I did not feel like waiting for them to sell. You know, it's just easier. He paid an average of $10 a shirt, and I was good with that. The next item I sold, and this was a resell, was a vintage Royal Delft Imari miniature red and blue floral jug, 3.25 inches. Sold this once. The buyer got it and they were bordering on leaving me negative feedback. There was a little tiny chip on the bottom that I did not see when I listed the item. Even though I had photos, I had taken photos, you could see the chip in the photos, but it wasn't like real obvious. You had to look for the chip in the photos. And so I missed the chip. She was pissed. She paid less than this buyer paid for it. She contacted me and wanted to know what was the least I would take for it. The first buyer that ended up bitching about it. Anyway, I told her I would refund her. She just needs to send it back. So she sent it back to me, and I resold it and made more than I did on the first time. So I'm fine with that. Even though I ate the cost on the shipping, I don't care. I wasn't giving anybody anything for free. So sold again for $9.89, and they paid $6.32 in shipping, in case I didn't already say that. Last item, yay, was a vintage Ben Wade Danish hand model 100 pipe made in Denmark. It had no stem. It didn't have the mouthpiece, the stem on it. Anyway, I listed this, and it sold in less than 2 hours to a guy who rebuilds, remakes, redoes pipes. And he bought it for $40 and paid $6.62 in shipping. If this had had the stem on it, it's worth over $100. So, you know, it was kind of cool. You could see that it was a nice object, and I bought. It was in a lot of other pipe stuff, tobacco things, whatever. I do well with those. It's very weird. I had another lot with some pipe smoking accessories in it, and those sold pretty well too. Anyway, that is it for the solds. My net for the 3 weeks was $1,460. That was the initial net. Now, my cost of goods was only $79 because most of this stuff, again, came from my mom's hoard or stash or whatever you want to call it. And after shipping costs and my cost of goods and supplies like bubble wrap and boxes and stuff like that, my total net for the 3 weeks was $1,054.88. So right around $1,050, which is huge compared to what I normally would make in 3 weeks. 3 weeks would normally be probably around $400, maybe at the most. And so this is more than double, you know, but it's a good thing because now I have no, it's so frustrating. I was looking at this income for the move, you know, so you can be betting I will be eating budget meals as much as I can without causing myself problems in the other area, you know. Lots of oatmeal probably in my horizon because that'll fill me up and it'll keep me from having other issues. So anyway, I don't think there's anything else I want to talk to you guys about. I don't know. There's no holidays coming up. Nothing's going on other than it's just hot here, and that's the way it is. I hope that you guys, I'm going to try and get this edited tonight if I can, when the weather's a little bit better. You know, when it's not as hot in here, and I've got 3 boxes to package up. because I've got a few things. I normally don't ship on Thursday or Friday, but I've got some stuff that could ship, so I may do those tonight just to get them out of here. And anyway, I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for subscribing. And let me know below if you want to see the ride with me footage. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.